What's going on, man? How you guys doing today? What the deal is, man? Happy Friday to you. Happy Friday to you. Or whatnot, man. We are in the yo today, and we're gonna bring that sound down just a little bit. We are in the studio today. We're gonna get a little bit of light work done today. We're gonna mix down this beat that you see in the background and everything like that. Got some free time in my own goddamn place, as far as the studio concerned. Don't get here too much often since I got it, or whatnot, but got a free day today, so we're gonna take advantage of it and everything like that. We're gonna mix the beat. We're gonna use Soft 2 Control 1, or Console 1, I'm sorry. Soft 2 Console 1 as the mixing platform, if that makes any sense. So we're gonna use the plugin Console 1, the SSL 9000 plugin, or the format for the Console 1, for as mixing is concerned or whatnot, and everything like that. Today, before we get into the mixing part, kind of want to talk about mixing controllers and what's out there, and how things are getting expensive, especially for studio equipment. The prime time to get studio equipment, I think, was about 5 years ago. And within this year and 5 years ago, the prices have been going up on simple studio gear, or whatnot. Yes, you do have a lot of emulations and stuff like that out there, but a lot of people in the studio, as far as producers are concerned, are starting to take more alternative routes, instead of having like a studio full of gear. And I wanted to talk about mixing controllers for that reason and stuff like that. So I want to bring up, so NAMM was just happened just a few weeks ago, and there were some things that surfaced up for as mixing controllers is concerned, or control surfaces, whatever you want to call it. And if you know what I'm talking about, something like the fader port, from Personas, or the X Touch from Behringer, like one of these bad boys. I use this faithfully to mix sessions in Studio One. This works a joy. I love this fader. It works really, really well. If you ask me, it's better than the fader port solo, or the fader port with the one fader from Studio One. Let me be honest with you. This is a better product, and everything like that. And you can't beat this jog wheel. I mean, this jog wheel is awesome. But we're not trying to compare orange to apples. What we want to talk about is what you're getting with these controllers, and how much overpriced they are, and stuff like that. SSL came out with their version of a controller. Now, they had the UF 8 fader, UF8. Or whatnot. Now they have their own version of something solo like this. Now, they did have the UC1, if I'm not mistaken, and that's a controller that basically has the same format as their Channel Strip 2 plugin, or whatnot, but that's ridiculously overpriced if you really ask me. And I just want to kind of touch on it a little bit or whatnot. And the reason why is because I'm using the Console 1. I got the Console 1 back in I want to say 2017. It ran me up about $5.99 at that time in 2017. Console 1 was about $5.99, brand spanking new, and it's still kicking butts and taking names right now. But I want something a little bit new, and just looking at the prices as far as what they're offering, it just kind of doesn't make any sense. And it's kind of like the prices are steadily increasing, but at small percentages, and those small percentages are really that's a really a big change, and stuff like that. So let me talk about this, if I can drag it up to here on the screen or whatnot. So this is the SSL Logic UF1 advanced DAW controller is what they call it. So this basically controls the SSL 360 ecosystem, or whatnot. But to be honest with you, you get some features, like the plugins, of course. You get a discount off of the SSL complete bundle. However, let's do some compare pricing. This is the UC1. That's at $7.99, basically to control a plugin. That's ridiculous, man. That is ridiculous. Um, you can get what I have here. If you can see the price there, it's $200. And I'll say about a good 60% of the time, you're going to be controlling plugin parameters with your mouse. You see what I'm saying? So for to spend like $7.99 on this, yeah, the features are good if only you're utilizing something like the UC1 all the time or the Channel Strip 2 plugin all the time on all of your sessions. You will probably have that in a small format studio that's set up basic and standard and everything like that. The UF8, $1,248 for that. That's expensive, man. But that's the prices. And then you have something like this for $699. That's expensive too. So I say all that to say this, man. For what you're getting with this bad boy right here is basically kind of like a plug-in view window here, as far as meters is concerned. And like where you at far as the levels in this other screen right here. And maybe you're paying for the screen because that look like some high res screens and stuff like that. But man, I mean, it's expensive, bro. And stuff like that. And I've been doing real good with the console one. And if you don't know what the console one look like, it's this device right here. You know what I'm saying? And basically, it's kind of like in its own central hub as well when it comes to its own ecosystem. If you were to pull up the screen here, this is basically what you have there. You know what I'm saying? So when you apply the console one plugin on all your tracks, you're basically going to be mixing in a closed environment. Okay. And the same thing goes with the SSL 360 environment. So I'm going to take that off the screen there. And if I was to pull up the 360 app, which I have the SSL bundle without the controller, you get kind of like their mixing type of situation. So if you want more of that DAW feel, you know what I'm saying, this will be for you. But however, how they basically putting the dick in your booty is $6.99 price, man. That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous, man. So between something like this, if you already have it, get it used. You could probably get this used for about $300-$400, and somebody may have the licenses to the plugin. And then you combine it with this, you really ain't got too much worries and stuff like that. But I'm just saying all that to say, I really love SSL and what they got going on right now in the software world. But man, come on with the prices, dog. $699, $700 for this little piece of shit right here. And just to give you how small it is, look at this. I mean, it's a small format. Look at the back. I mean, you ain't really getting nothing like talking about, you feel me? Look at the side. I mean, it's a simple, look like aluminum design and stuff like that. And you're paying $700 for that. That's too much, man. That's entirely too much, bro. So that's basically what I'm talking about with that right there. But some things I would pay a lot of money for is something like this. I'm gonna go ahead and close out of that tab right there, man. I will pay my bottom dollar on something like this. Now, this is a video from NAMM this year out there in Anaheim. And my internet kind of moving slow there. But if I can just fast forward right here, this is one of the Icon. Icon is basically like this audio company that make interfaces and mixing controllers and everything like that. And they make some really good products. I used to have the Icon QCon Pro, the first gen. But that motherfucker was big. I mean, it took up all of this on the studio desk and stuff like that. But if I can get this resolution to act right here, this is one of their new controllers that they have out. And I'm just going to let the internet do what it do or whatnot. But basically, you have touch panel functions right here. And you have an improved meter bridge with the faders and assignable buttons right here with a jog wheel. This right here is something I will pay a lot of money for because it's giving you a lot of features. So when you out there kind of shopping around, kind of like start looking at, you know what I'm saying, not the name brand, but look at what the features is going to work for your workflow. Workflow is the key of what I'm talking about. And if you're gonna pay $700 for a workflow, it's gotta make sense. It can't be like that little shit I just I just showed you with the UF1 from SSL, and all it is a plug-in controller. This is a DAW controller, and it's a difference and stuff like that. So sometimes these companies are getting outrageous with the pricing and everything like that. Here's a close-up on the meter bridge. Okay, there it is. Now it's rendering correctly. Let me see if I can hit play. Let's see this. All right, cool. Let's pause it right there. So basically, you're getting the meter bridge and you're getting labeling right there, front and center. And right here, you could choose to hit record. And I missed my QCon Pro. It was too big. But I definitely will pay $2,000 for this and stuff like that. Because I can control all the Studio One or any other DAW that you have with no problems. You get a pan pot knob, record, solo, mute, and select. You can't beat that, man. And you get these live meter bridges. So basically, I'm just talking really just for you to understand the value and what to look for, and not just paying for a brand. And there's a lot of brands that don't really do a lot of heavy advertising, like Icon. A lot of people don't know nothing about Icon audio products, but they make some really, really good shit and stuff like that. So this is going to be coming out probably Q3, Q4 this year. And, you know what I'm saying, if you're updating your studio, if you are, let's see, we got some activity in the chat, man. What's good with you? What's good with you, Miss Creations? How you doing? How you doing? And stuff like that. But yeah, oh, and I didn't even see this. You also got displays here. So if you're upgrading your studio and you're looking for more value of the money, and SSL been putting out a lot of controllers, but check out the ecosystem. The ecosystem is really not DAW friendly from what I heard, but it's plugin friendly for their plugins. Versus if you go to Sweetwater, talk with somebody, ask somebody, hey, what's the best DAW controller out there? It would probably be something from Icon. What I have on my desk, I wouldn't even recommend this to you. And they have this format, and they have another thing with some faders. And the one with the faders costs more than this. But you're still in a closed environment. You see what I'm saying? And half the time, I'm not even utilizing my hands to touch this, because 60% of the time, I'm still utilizing the mouse. So it's got to make sense for your workflow and stuff like that. But I bought this in 2017. So the console one, it's like, it was the thing back then because it was new, stuff like that. And it had no competition. However, we in 2023, there's a lot of competition out there. So if you're in the market of buying controllers or whatnot, buy it for your workflow. Let's see if we can fast forward through this video and go to another controller that I think is gonna blow things up here. Let me rewind that back. This right here is another controller. Let me see. Hurry up. Yeah, I'm streaming and playing video, and that's bad recipe here. But if I can get a zoom in and hit play right here, I think this is a smaller format of what you just saw. So the meter bridge is not going to be as high, and I apologize if the video keeps rendering or whatnot. And they don't even have the product on their website, so that's how I know it's still kind of like in development. But if you can get a little glimpse of it or whatnot, it's just a smaller format of what I just showed you, or whatnot, and you can see it here as I'm doing this right here. I don't know what's up with the video. Let me take it off of high quality there. Yeah, okay, there we go. Shit, they must have thought. All right, so let me pause that real quick. So that's just basically a smaller format of what you just saw in control surfaces and everything like that, whatnot. So you have the meter bridges here and your label in there. I may go with something like this. I think this is gonna probably hit you up right at about like $800. The other one, I know for sure, it's probably gonna be about $1,500. You know what I'm saying? Judging from the QCon Pro X that they have out right now. And last but not least, I know they have it on here. This is gonna probably replace what the console one does and everything like that. And hold on one second. Let me log back in this computer right here. This right here is the smaller format of what this is. And this is another option I may look into as well. one fader option, but they're giving you things that you can read up on here. This probably gonna be about $400-500. I'm gonna put my mark on it or whatnot. But you know what I'm saying? What you see here is what that is on there. So I like that look right there. Got touch panels on there and everything. That's pretty dope, man. And last but not least, they had like a control plug-in controller that they have on here, but I think this is just the this is the V1, P1, and the P1 Nano or whatnot. So they also have a thing where they're gonna control the plugins here pretty soon or whatnot. So when you're looking for controllers, let it make sense. Let it make sense with your workflow and everything like that. And don't go for something that's like the console one where it's enclosed in one. The software is good, the sound is good, but however, you can't control any other plugins. Now you can with this, but you have to go and set up all the MIDI parameters and everything like that, and that can get very, very tedious. But you know what I'm saying, something like this where it's only soft tool plugins, I would probably stay away from that. And that's just my little tidbit, man. We're gonna get up into mixing and everything like that, man. So just wanted to talk about that before we start mixing today, man. So I apologize if I had you dragging on or whatever the case may be. Stuff like that, man. That's why it's a live stream, man. We just go with the flow and everything like that. All right, cool. So we're gonna mix in Ableton Live today, or whatnot. What we're gonna do is just hit a little pause on that music right there, and what we're gonna do is take the console one plugin, and I'm going to drag and copy it on certain tracks here. So we got it on this track. Got it on that track. We have it on this track. We actually ain't got no audio on there, so let's not do that. And let's got one more. So we just drag and dropping console one on all of the tracks here, and we're gonna go ahead and get out of there. All right, so we're gonna bring up the first instance here. This is the plugin. So off the bat, you know what I'm saying, you can control everything here. You can pan it and everything like that right here on the situation. Well, I'm on the wrong track, y'all. Hold on one second. There we go. All right. So we can compare. Hold on a second, y'all. Maybe I have some problems here. Yeah. And this is the reason why I'm in shopping right now. All right. Yes. It's reading, but it's not reading. So this being bought in 2017, it has a little hiccups or whatnot, and I'm getting tired of the hiccups, whatever case may be. So we may have to restart the OSD here. So that was one of the reasons why I wanted to do this video, to let you guys know if you're shopping for something like this, I'll probably stay away from it or whatnot, because it gets hung up on this. But the plugin, though, just to show you, it works fine. If you go here, and let's say you bring up channel 1. All right. There you go right there. Now, notice that I can't do anything. You can control it there. Okay. All right. And same thing here. You know what I'm saying? So the parameters work. However, when you bring up the on-screen display, it's not working. Now there's some things where you can kind of reset it here, reset it there again. And so that's kind of working in conjunction with your graphics card. But you know what I'm saying, Sawtube, I feel like they haven't really been doing justice to the stability of this right here. Okay. So what we're gonna do is reset the on-screen display, and it should be working now. So let's drag that up here and let's hit play and see what happens. There we go. So you always have to constantly reset the on-screen display for it to work. But in conjunction to that, though, you switch the channel numbers and you can have access to all the channel numbers right there. So that's the good thing about this situation. And you can see that it works pretty good. So what we're going to do now is go ahead and we're gonna get into the SSL 9000 mode. So in order to get there, we're just gonna go, and we're on this first plugin here. We're just gonna go ahead and hold down shift, and I hope this thing works. All right, there we go. And we're gonna choose the 9000K series, and we're gonna hit enter or OK. And we're gonna go to this plugin here. And now each plugin on each track, you have access to the particular plugin that you want. So if I wanted the SSL 4000E on the drums, I could do so just like that. All right. But we're going to go ahead and do 9000 on all of them. All right. And everything I'm doing, I'm not touching the mouse. I'm doing everything on the controller itself. For some reason, switching is acting crazy. It's probably just because I'm streaming and utilizing all of that. All right, cool. So that's the on-screen display. You see all our plugins here, here, and here. All right. And let's see here. We only got 4 tracks. Everything else is drums and whatnot. So let's just double check here. Track on that. Got one here, and we got one there, and we got one there. All right, cool. So we have a total of 5, and I'm missing one. Hold on one second, y'all. Let me see here. That's what it is. That might be causing the confusion with this thing. So let's do this. Let's go here and drag that there on channel 2. And, oh crap. Yeah. Buggy. All right, cool. So for some reason, the sub doesn't want to have console 1 on it. Go figure. All right, so let's do this. We'll just go here and go to Sawtube and load it up from there. It doesn't want to do the copy and paste. Hopefully it'll work. All right, there you go. It kicked in. See, that's what I'm talking about. It's time to upgrade, y'all. All right, cool deal. We'll just blow this one up here. Excuse me. And we'll go ahead and assign that to the 9000 as well. Come on now. Oh, she don't want to work now. It's taking audio, but it doesn't want to work. I see you. I see you. So actually, yeah, it's communicating with the board, but for some reason, I can't change. Oh, there it is. My bad. There it is. All right, there we go. All right, so all our plugins are on the 9000 series. So basically what we're going to do is start mixing the drums here. And you don't have a transport function on here. So no play, no stop, no fast forward, nothing on here. Just strictly channel strip parameters that you have on here. So that's why I have the keyboard right here just for transport purposes. All right, cool. So what we're going to do is turn up our master channel and get to work. I'm going to solo the drums. And what I like to do with the drums with the console 1 is turn on the shape, right? And that's our kind of like our gate. But I like to do the transient situation. So we're going to change the shape here. And we're going to go for the dynamic shaper on the SSL 4000. That's going to give us some transient hits, some punch. All right, turn it on and off. And this damn screen acting up, boy. And I think I know what the problem is. Let's just reduce the screen size down. Well, there goes my live stream. Alrighty. So, as I told you guys before, resetting the on-screen display will alleviate that. So now, there it is. So I just updated right before I started the stream, so it is what it is. But we're adding punch right here, all right? And we're gonna add like a little bit of compression here. And what I'm gonna do is take it out of solo mode, add a little bit of drive. All right, cool deal. And now on here I can control the DAW volume here by the track if I need to. All right, cool deal. So we kind of got that good or whatnot. Now the good thing about this is you can also switch it up. So in this case, because I'm using an SSL 9000K type of sound, we're gonna actually go to the SSL plugins, and I'm gonna show you guys how you can pull up the 360 app. That way, if you want that console feel for us in the virtual realm and everything like that, you definitely can. So there's probably certain things I want to do, let's say on the individual drum sounds. So like that kick, for example, I want to make it a little bit boomy, so to speak. I don't know, you know what I'm saying? Just pull up the channel strip 2 here, all right? And this also, what you could do, let's see, we have it on the drum rack, so let's do this. Do we have it on the individual? Nope. So let's put that on the individual kick drum here. And for some reason okay, there it is. All right, cool. So we have this on the, so the good thing about the SSL ecosystem is, especially the channel strip, is you could actually mute sounds out of here. So we're not muting that kick because it's technically simpler in the drum rack. So when I hit mute, it's muting the whole drum rack and not the kick itself. But you still have DAW features. So this plugin, this one plugin controls Ableton Live, Studio One, and a couple other DAWs out there as well. But in this case, though, we're gonna kind of affect this kick or whatnot. And I'm starting to notice something here. I don't think this, yeah, here we go. So let's say I wanted to add like a little punch right there in a little low mid. Right there around about 700. I like that little boost right there. Take that. I like what the compressor was doing to that. I like that right there. All right, cool deal. All right, so we have that there, and this little sound, yeah, that's getting on my nerves right there. So we're gonna put that on this one. And let's get that kick. Just gonna want to bring that. All right, and right here. Now you're seeing how I'm having a switch between two plugins on those two sounds. Well, if we pull up the 360 app, you'll see those two sounds right here. All right, so I could just go here and hit play. Okay, let's see something here. I think I made a mistake here. Yeah, it keeps trying to go right here on this particular sound. So let me delete this one off again and let me go here. It's being real specific. It's trying to route it a different way. All right, there we go. All right, cool deal. And we'll go back to the 360 app here. All right, so when I hit the solo, the DAW controls, solo, cut. You can still have individual control over your individual sounds, but solo and cut is going to be only for the drum rack itself. So if I wanted to, I don't know, let's say for instance, take this and divide it up. Check this out, y'all. I could take this and I'm going to drag this out of the drum rack. And when I make drums, I just make them, you know what I'm saying? See here. All right. Now yeah, I think I did that right. Hold on one second, y'all. Hold on. Hit Control Z here. All right, there we go. Let's extract chains. Boom, there it is. All right, so now this perk sound that we have here, there it is. It's by itself, and you have the plugin that goes with it. Okay, so we may have to extract the sounds out, and that's a problem. That's not a problem or whatnot. And then we'll just rename this perk. All right, so that's a perk sound there. And now when I pull up the 360 app, boom, there it is. You'll see the perk. So that's the perk, and we still got that. So all right, we're gonna do the same thing for the kick. So we just process that kick. We'll just extract chains. And now that kick is right here. I'm going to go ahead and rename it. Boom. There it is. Whatnot. So just getting different styles of SSLs here. And then, of course, you got to engage that right there. All right. Bring that up right there. See what I'm saying? I'm going to gain stages right here. Bring our output volume with our input. All right, cool deal. So we got that right there. I think everything else in this drum rack, I think those claps, we're gonna go ahead and group those, and then I'm gonna go ahead and extract chains. See what happens here. Boom, there's our 2 claps right there. It's kind of like, that's what it is. Claps right there. So we're just gonna rename that claps, and I kind of want to just compress those a little bit, but I'm gonna use that plugin as well. All right. And we just trying some shit, man. I'm just creating content, that's all. And it's a little bit too on the crunchy side. Right here at about 1,000. So we're going all right, let's bring it back in the mix. Oh, sorry. We have that drum rack over there soloed. about like 4-1. Just kissing the compressor just a little bit. All right, cool. So now all we have left on this original drum rack is our hi-hats. And I'm just gonna call those highs. All right, cool deal. And if I wanted to compress those as well, we can. So let's just go ahead and do it. Oh, but let's not do that because we have that on the console one. Okay. So just giving you different flexibility. There's the highs right there. Let's go to our on-screen display, and we can compress that if we want to. And we're already doing that. So let's just turn up the threshold a little bit. All right, let's bring that out. Bring that down just a little bit in volume. All right, we're gonna take those drum tracks and put it over there. We ain't got much to mix today. It's gonna be in and out, man. All right, so we got the perks, the claps, the highs, the kick. Everything is good right there. What we're gonna do is take a look at the sub lab here, and let's turn that on there, and let's go ahead and change the shape there. Or do we want to do like some tape saturation? Let's do that. Bring down that drive a little bit. Cut a little bit of that. There we go. Let's make up the gain. Let's bypass the plugin. Yeah, I like that right there. Definitely turn it down now. Or we can side chain it. I think that's what we're gonna do. So what we're gonna do is we can actually use side chaining features in here, the actual console one. So just to show you, I'm gonna press on here, and we're gonna change the order to side chaining to the compressor. All right, and all I have to do now is go to the kick here. All right, and let's say, for instance, we're gonna send audio to let me see. Damn, I forgot how to do that. I know how to do it with the Reason situation here. Hold on a second. Let me see. May have to do it from the plugin itself. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, okay, it's got the sidechain input. Tripping. All right, so on the console plugin, in the Ableton plugin slot right here, you will see this thing. It says sidechain. Okay, so some plugins, if they have that sidechain feature, they have it specially made to work with different type of DAWs. In this case, with Ableton Live, you have that sidechain input, so we can route the signal from the kick and bring it into the console one. It could be post effects, pre-effect, or whatever. I'm just gonna keep it on post effects here. And now when we hit play, I'm just gonna solo that in the sub. We'll go here to the on-screen display. turn on the compressor, you see that kick? And that's the kick signal. So now we can compress that kick and make, we can compress or sidechain compress the sub to allow the kick to overwrite. So this is your sub volume, this is your kick. So every time that compressor kicks in, it's boom, boom. So the kick is coming in and the compressor is bringing down the volume of the 808. Vice versa, kick, 808, You know what I'm saying? I got an old YouTube video, like 11 years ago, explaining sidechaining, utilizing Reason. And I explained it like mattress. Like if you get on a mattress and you push down on it, you're pushing the mattress down. But when you let off of it, that energy, when you let off the energy of the mattress, is going to bring that mattress spring back up. So basically if you turn it off, you hear how the kick is it's clashing with the 808. Turn the compressor on. See how it's pushing that 808 volume down? Let's smash it real good. See what I'm saying? So let's control that release a little bit, shorten it up a little bit. I like a fast attack on side chaining. And I'm gonna go to my ratio 3 to 1, or just 3 to 1 right there. Back off of the threshold. Bring it in the mix. See, I'm coming off that threshold, and you notice on that high note on the 808, it's overpowering that kick. So I need to bring that threshold back. So you just gotta find a sweet spot. So I like it right there. Now I don't necessarily have to touch the console itself. I could just go here and make changes. And I can make fine-tune changes. I'm gonna shorten up that release a little bit more. All right, cool deal. All right, now that's the 808 there. So let's work on this one. Let's go to the hook of the song. So we got some stuff in the low mid range that we need to clean up. So let's turn our EQ on here. So adjust our Q. That's the EQ off. like what that sound doing, but I think we could compress that a little bit more to bring out a little bit in that. All right, and I'm gonna change this particular compressor to a RMS 9000 compressor. It's gonna be a little bit more smoother. Let's get our ratio right. Shorten up our release. And back off on our threshold. About right there. And bring it back in. Turn up the volume on the fader a little bit. We need to do it like a high mid bump there. All right, cool. I'm gonna go back to that guitar. We're gonna process that guitar a little bit differently. We're not gonna use the, you know what? Let's do this. Let's do this. We're gonna give it a little bit of drive, console drive, as we should. But what we're gonna do is, I was about to do something, but never mind. We definitely don't need compression. Let's add a little bit of dynamic shaping to that. And we can kind of back off on that low mid. Transition. Alright, cool. And this is one thing I want to do here. Alright, there we go. Now, what I have on the guitar is, I wanted to make adjustment here. So the guitar modeling that I'm using on this particular guitar is from how you say it? How you say their name? Kuasa or Kuasa? It's spelled Kuassa. But it's called, fuck, I don't know, man. You see the goddamn name. Kuassa. Kuasa? Kuasa, couscous, Kusi. Fuck, I don't know. But to get the guitar tone, we using a virtual pedal, compressor pedal here, a boutique overdrive, analog delay, shimmer reverb. Kind of did something with the panning to make it sound a little bit more wide. Then we're running that signal into a amp and cab combo, which is, I don't know what the emulation is, but it's called a Matchlock A, and then and this is the cab right here. So this is the amp, and this is the cab. This is based off of two cabs with 12-inch speakers. and being virtually mic'd with a SM57 microphone. And these virtual things you can do, you can move the mic around the speaker that you want to mic it. So if you know anything about micing guitars, you have to move your speaker. For example, I can give you a live example. I'm gonna take my podcast mic for example. All right. So let's say, for instance, we're gonna use my logo right here. There. Shit, you know what I'm saying? The logo right here by my hand. We're gonna act like that's the speaker. You know what I'm saying? So you can kind of basically mic the speaker or mic your microphone directly to the speaker. It's gonna get the best possible sound, very direct. You know what I'm saying? Or let me do this. Here you go. All right, if you look at my bottom screen here, let me change that to a bigger view so you can actually see what the hell I'm talking about. All right, cool. So if I was to take my mic, I'm doing a direct miking. If you want to do an angle mic, you would angle it to the side. You see what I'm saying? So now you're on this side. Or you could take that microphone and back up a little bit and you're still picking up sound. Same thing here. You can mic it there. You can mic it here. You can mic it there. But what you're trying to do is you're trying to achieve a tone that's unique to whatever the hell you're trying to capture, along with your sound or with the track that you're working with or whatnot. And you could use the various different mics. Hell, if a Rode podcaster mic is all you have in your arsenal, shit, use it. You know what I'm saying? It's a dynamic microphone. You know what I'm saying? So if you have a cabinet, an amp in a cabinet, and you're a guitar player, and this is all you have, mic that motherfucker. Don't be scared and stuff like that. You just never know what kind of tones you can get out of it. And the reason why is because every microphone is made differently, okay, because of the frequency response that's associated with the microphone. So sometimes you can have this type of frequency response where, you know what I'm saying, it's attenuated and boosted in different frequencies, versus some microphones are flat and then they have a big ass boost on the treble or on the high mid side, far as the treble is concerned. And then right there at about 10,000 hertz, you get a big down slope or whatnot. So every microphone is different. That's why when you buy a microphone, don't just buy a microphone because Wavy Wayne say you need a SM57 or 58 to do X, Y, and Z. You know what I'm saying? Like, let it make sense for you. Buy a microphone for your purpose and stuff like that. So if you're recording vocals, you know what I'm saying, like, you will probably want the flattest mic possible, but every mic is not made differently. So if somebody tell you, yeah, man, you need the Norman U87, that microphone may not work on everyone's voice. If you're a solo artist, you definitely need to pay attention to what type of mic you work on. A person like me, probably a Sony, that Sony microphone, that one that has a big ass amplifier on the back. I forget the model name. It's a C8000 or something like that or whatnot. That microphone may work well with my voice because it boosts the high frequencies on the microphone, and then you have a little slight, kind of like a little slight decline on the lows. You know what I'm saying? But for me, I can't use, you know what I'm saying, microphones like a podcast mic, like one of those Rode, one of them old school Rode podcast mics, or a SM7B. That won't work well on my voice because I got a heavy voice. And the SM7B, it's more of a low boost straight out the microphone. You see what I'm saying? So you have to kind of pay attention to what you're buying when it comes to microphones and the frequency response. And I think a lot of people don't know that. We just go by, oh yeah, man, shit, you need a AKG 214, you need an AKG 414, you need a Norman such and such, you need that Norman TLM 108. So you're going out there buying a $1,000 microphone and you don't like the sound of it on your voice. Well, the reason why is because you didn't do your proper research. So again, when you're doing microphone research and you want to buy a microphone, make sure you're buying it for the frequency response and not for the brand. That's the moral of this stream today, man. I think a lot of people spending money and they realize they get all this $1,000 of equipment and it's not going with their workflow or with their tone that they're looking for. I'm just saying, man, I don't have a degree on that wall for a reason. I know my shit, man. So don't make the mistake and buy shit that you don't need. Unless you're experimenting, don't do it, man, because you're going to be mad at yourself. Just FYI there or whatnot. So back to what I was saying though, that's the reason why you have this virtual stub. It gives you kind of like the ability to change out microphones here, and I can choose like a condenser 103. This 414 is the AKG 414. Dynamic 57 is the SM57. The 441, that may be a Sennheiser, and you got some ribbon microphones in here as well. So I told y'all every microphone is not made, because the condenser does one thing that a dynamic than the ribbon and stuff like that. And if you know anything about ribbon mics, there's two little thin plates in there, and if you yelling at, or if you get a real loud sound source, it can actually crack that metal plate or damage that metal plate, and you got a fucked up microphone. So it's a lot to learn when it comes to audio and stuff like that. But that's what this little situation is right there. All right, cool. So that's basically how I got the tone right there. The signal routing comes right here. If you see this icon, it coming in, it kind of circles back around, and it comes from the top to the bottom, and then we go down here right there. So that's the signal routing right there. And that shimmer reverb is very unique. So if I take the delay off, that's a shimmer reverb. I love shimmer reverbs. Matter of fact, I have a guitar pedal that is actually a shimmer reverb, and it works really, really good. So if you're into sound experimentation, I highly recommend you get the Keeley Caverns reverb and delay pedal. You can use this on synths and other sound sources, and it can definitely do some very good atmospheric type of sounds that can really add value to your sound palette or your productions as well, man. So that's basically what a shimmer reverb, and this is pretty good. And I have to say, I'm struggling with this name, the KUASSA Kuasa application amplification 360 bundle. It gives you all of these different guitar pedals and virtual cabs and amps, and they sound really, really good. A lot of people get foreshadowed from the IK Multimedia Amplitude and Overloud THU and a couple other things out there, and I don't find those appealing. Guitar Rig is another one. Guitar Rig, it doesn't sound good to me. Amplitude used to sound good to me until I came across this product right here, and playing with actual guitar pedals and stuff like that. This is damn near close in the virtual world. So check them out. Amplification 360 bundle from Kuase or whatever the hell. I don't know. Don't butcher me in the comments, like, for real. Don't go for me, man. Or whatnot. All right, cool. So what I was gonna do with this guitar, let's see here. I was gonna bring down this reverb a little bit. There it is. I think we're done. All right, and what we're gonna do is check this in mono, of course. That open hi-hat, because we are monitoring in mono, is a little bit loud. Let's bring that down a little bit. I want to put like a 1/8 note delay on that. So let's pull up a doggone stock delay here. All right, we're just gonna pop that right there. All right, and I put it on the whole goddamn group chat. No, the group track. let's put it right here. For some reason, it's not wanting to put it on the individual tracks. There we go. All right, and let's bring that dry wet. Bring that high mid down on that instrument. I like it right there. Cool deal. All right, and let's do something here. Still listening in mono. Now, we made a little bit of adjustments here and there, and here. Take it out of mono. We turned that volume up in mono because we really couldn't hear it. So mono is a really, really good trick to kind of like check what you're listening in stereo, line everything up in the middle, and really get a good level balance. Because you got to think about it like this. Certain sounds is going to go from top to bottom. Far as like everything that's placed here. So let's say you got one instrument here, one instrument here, one instrument here. And then on this side of the stereo field, you have another instrument here, one instrument here. When you take side and mid information and you line it up all in the middle, that is mono. So now you can make that level adjustment. And what you're doing is, let's say you have the hi-hats here, you need to bring that down. Your guitar is probably the lead instrument in your mix. So now that volume is going to go hip here. And then you have the 808, the kick, the hi-hat, the snare somewhere up in there, some of the undertones in your melodies, your pad, and strings. You see what I'm saying? So that's all level priority. That's how you need to think about it. Level priority when you're mixing in mono. You see what I'm saying? It also solves some phasing issues as well. But to kind of like give it in layman terms, it's trying to get level priority for its volume. Because a lot of times, I don't have my iPods, but if you have earbuds, especially the cheap kind, you're not getting true left and right. You're getting double mono. So you know what I'm saying? Like if you take out one ear pod, it's gonna sound the same when you put the right one in. So it's mono summed is the technical term for it or whatnot. So it's not really true to stereo, even though you pay for two of them. You feel me? So that's why you always want to check your mix in mono. And then when you're checking the mix in mono, you're checking for phasing issues. Well, you can kind of look at it as level priority. So in this case, when we hit play again and we put it in mono, and let me go back to the hook. So you hear that guitar, right? Check this out. The guitar is the lead, right? The 808, kick, clap. Those little it's down here, and then everything else is underneath. You see what I'm saying? So it kind of makes sense, and it makes your mix sound pretty good. Another thing you can do as well when you're mixing is utilize bass mono, or what they call bringing your mid information to the center. And there's a cutoff frequency point with that. Because we have bass in here, we're going to utilize our spectrogram or spectrometer. Shit. What they call this? What's the proper term for this shit? Hold on a second, y'all. I'm having. Hold on a second. Hold on. I just want to, your spectrum meter. There you go. This is where your spectrum meter will come in clutch. All right. So let's bring this up. Right here. So what you want to look for is the kick in the kick in the 808. Once that kick in the 808 is not displaying information, you want to look for the fall off point, and everything else is up here. So when that kick is boom, 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 that point right here, when it goes down and everything else is doing what it's doing up here, that's the cutoff frequency. You want to look for that. It's somewhere around about here. Notice when I'm refreshing it, it's about right here. So what I normally look for is a downward motion until it starts leveling off and going somewhat flat. So right now it's telling me about 250, and that seems about right. This is really not accurate, even though it says accurate fast. It ain't accurate or whatnot. There's other spectrum analysis tools out there that's a little bit better, but for shits and giggles, we're going to utilize this. The good thing about the Ableton utility tool, it gives you this listen in button, so you can audition the frequency that you're adjusting for as the crossover point. So right now, everything you're listening to is at 50 hertz. All right. Oh, and y'all can't even see that shit. Damn, I'm tripping. All right. Let's go back here. All right. Let's go to this window right here. So right here on this 50 hertz situation here, all right, if I bring it up to 100, that's all the information at 100 or below. That's what you're listening to. Everything at 100 hertz or below. You bring it back up, that's 180 hertz and below. We kind of clocked it on the spectrum meter at about 250 hertz, right? Let's go up that way. It's off, you know what I'm saying? Because you still got some side information just a little bit in there. So we're going to bring it down a little bit. About right there. And I hope your ears can hear how it kind of filters out and just get nothing but low information. Bring it back in. Take it off. So what it is, you in layman's terms, you're gonna hear a loss in bass volume, but it's still there. Technically speaking, it's this thing called psychoacoustics that you're accustomed to hearing a lot of times. So psychoacoustics can play with your psychedelic hearing, if that makes any sense. So the way we hear things makes us think about sound perceived to be louder than what it actually is. So even though we have moved everything under 183 hertz and we moved it to the center, all that center information is not truly heard because of the psychoacoustics that our brain is trying to perceive what is loud and what is not loud. But when you play it back on the speakers, it makes perfect sense. Everything is in tune on the low frequency side, and everything that needs to be heard true left and right is being heard true to left and right. If we was to turn bass mono off, you'll have all of your sub energy or your low frequencies coming out of the left and right, and you're going to have kind of like a wishy-washy type of mix or whatnot, versus doing this, you square it up and ready to fight. You see what I'm saying? If I'm just giving you an analogy shit, but you know how you square up, you ready to fight, you know what I'm saying? Just like this. You got your solid information here, you got your solid information there. Okay? All right? That's and everything in the middle. So your upper torso is straight up, it's ready to go. But if you don't have like a bass mono or a center low frequency cutoff far as everything being in the mid, now your stance, it starts to get like this. And so now your mix is wobbly. So when somebody swing at your ass, they're gonna knock your fucking ass out and shit like that. So I'm trying to give you an analogy so you can understand for someone that don't understand mixing or whatnot. So that's basically how I can kind of describe it. You're just basically taking everything at that cutoff frequency. Below that, you're moving into the center. You have more solid information in that center and more of a balanced mix, if that makes any sense. So there it is. So that's some of the things that I can, I could see. And now when you adjust your width, you're basically bringing out more of the side information when you adjust your width. Now your sound or your mix is going to sound bigger. When you adjust that width and you center up your low frequencies, your mix is going to have that perceived loudness to it. You know what I'm saying? Again, psychoacoustics, what your mind is telling you is what's loud or what not. If we turn it off, the whole utility plugin, if we turn that off, you're going to see what I'm talking about. Now the psychoacoustics is telling you, oh man, it sounds thin. You turn it on, it's going to sound bigger than life. Here we go. But we didn't do any volume adjustments. All we did is move some frequencies around to make sense to our psychoacoustics that we perceive in our mindset. So audio is just not about mixing and making shit sound good. It's a scientific art form. That's what mixing and producing is for the nerdy people out there, or the people that's trying to understand what's stuff going on. And a lot of people get that kind of confused, and I have to kind of break it down, and then, I'm not like I'm a nerd now or whatever. No, that's just what they teach in school and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Psychoacoustics definitely has a different play as far as how we listen to things or whatnot. Dolby Atmos, sound with movies. You know what I'm saying? If you was to take Dolby Atmos sound and put it in true stereo form, it's the same type of mix. But when you split that stereo file up into a 7.1 surround system, or a 5.1 surround system, or a 4.1, or an 8.1, or a 9.1, see what I'm saying? And that when I'm talking about the point one, that one is the subwoofer, and then how you place your speakers in the room. So you have that, when you turn your head, you hear more sound effects here. When you turn your head this way, now you hear more punchings and stuff like that when you're watching an action movie. See what I'm saying? So when you turn your head to the left, you may hear more explosions here. And when you turn your head to the right, you may hear more of the fighting and the punching and the curse words and stuff like that. So again, that's all dealing with psychoacoustics and how we as humans perceive sound and stuff like that. So that's the technical shit and all of that right there. So I hope I ain't scaring nobody. Or whatever the case may be, man. So that's what that is right there. We pretty much done with this. I'm gonna put the mastering plug-in on here soon as I can track this out, and I think that's what we're gonna do. So let's do a little quick track out real quick and do this real. Yeah, let's just start that out on here. So we're gonna tab that out here and let's go. we're just tracking something out right here, and then we're gonna apply the mastering plug-in on here. Just call it a wrap. I'll take care of all the other stuff in my personal time or whatnot. And I kind of messed up right here. I had the wrong goddamn thing. The colors is not accurate on this shit or whatever the case may be. But in the meantime, now that we got it kind of tracked out and we have somewhat of a song format here and everything, I'm just going to create a loop right here, and I'm just going to apply that mastering plugin on here and call it a day. I need to do a video on this particular plugin, pretty much something new that released under Plugin Alliance, and there we go. And it is called the Master Desk Pro, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, Master Desk Pro here. And this plugin, it gives you everything that you need to kind of like put like a soft master on your damn, bro, they be spamming on live streams too. Damn, okay. This gives you basically everything that you need to master your track. Okay. So to break it down, you have your TMT technology here. You can choose your virtual console channels here. Far as like what's on a mastering desk and everything. You have somewhat of a overall bus compressor here. All right. And you have this gluing type of effect here. You also have this clipping type of effect. So I'm thinking like this is kind of like for analog summing and everything like that. You still have the true core values of, saying the master desk for your volume, your compressor link, your compressor mix, and then also your foundation as far as the tilt EQ is concerned, your THD for as your total harmonic distortion here, and this XL is more of the XL saturation that Brainworks has, whatnot. You have a limiter section right here, a de-essence section, resonant filters, tone, for as just a basic 4-band EQ, and then right here they have another section where you can kind of fine tune certain frequencies for as your low mid, mid, and high mid right here. Stereo enhancement for as your mid side information, and high pass and low pass filters right here as well. So what I normally do is take my high pass and low pass filters, I bring them all the way to the low and all the way to the high, and we're gonna play around with these channels here. All right, and I'm just trying to find what works with my ears. We're gonna turn off glue and keep clipper turned off. What I'm gonna do here is bring down the compressor mix, and I just want a little bit of compression. Oh, but before we do that, you have to follow the numbers. So that's another thing I forgot to mention. The numbers actually help you understand the signal flow. Because I know how to work with this plugin, because I've been working with it for a while, since Plugin Alliance came out with it. I know kind of like what I need to control, but you want to adjust your volume, your tilt EQ, play around with the compressor, then kind of work your way down here to the EQs and everything. And then last but not least, your mid-side information or whatever the case may be. The limiter, you really don't need per se, but we're going to go ahead and turn that off, turn down the turbo situation here, have a very, very short release time, and see what we can play around with. But I'm just gonna get this sounding good, and then I'll talk about what I did. right, one thing I want to talk about is the de-essing section. So let's say, for instance, that you have a hi-hat and you try to control it, but you don't want to turn it down too much. You feel me? But you want to still tame it. You know what I'm saying? Instead of putting a de-esser on that hi-hat or whatnot, you can actually use the de-esser section. All you have to do, again, use your use your spectrum meter here and identify that high frequency that's really sticking out and making your mix sound good and stuff like that, and just attenuate that. So check this out. All right. Goddamn. All right. I'm gonna use this meter right here, for example. See this right here? That little peak right there is constant. But you like the sound of the hi-hat. It's doing something. It's a part of the vibe of the mix. Well, you can bring it down just a little bit. So that de-essing, you can make that de-esser work to kind of like tame it a little bit. It's sitting around about 7.15 kilohertz or whatever. So what we're going to do is utilize the de-esser. All right, and we're gonna dial this in. Now you're seeing single numbers here, if you can see that shit. You got single numbers here, but they're representing the thousands far as the frequency is concerned. So what you're hearing is the frequency, right? You notice we took it off of 7 and we put it on 8. Take it off of 7, you don't hear it that much. So something like a spectrum meter will definitely help you out when it comes to identifying some of these frequencies, man. Because these sounds that's coming out these days, especially synthesized sounds, they're so complex in the frequency range. It's very, very hard to identify what it is versus your basic drums, guitar, bass, and vocals that old music used to be about and stuff like that. So that's why you have all these tools that are out right now. So I'm going to put that back on 7.1. That's our frequency we need to de-ess. So let's check it out solo mode. So that's what it's de-essing. So I want to put it on max. All right, and if we were to, that's our solo information as far as the size is concerned. And that's everything in the middle. Now, when we're making tonal adjustments like the de-esser, the tone section, and this little 3-band parametric EQ that they have right here, please keep in mind that this is a mastering processor, so everything is not going to be extreme. Everything has gentle slopes, and everything is kind of programmed to be as gentle as possible. That way you don't take away from the mix itself. So just keep in mind, if you're working with any type of mastering plugin or processor, everything is going to be somewhat of a quote unquote gentle movement or whatever the case may be. All right. All right, we're going to bypass that. If I can freeze what I'm doing right here, so the gain reduction right here is a combination of what the compressor and the limiter is doing. I always, ever since I've been mixing music, I try to keep my 2-track mix or the mastering not to have no more than -3 in dynamics, if that makes any sense, as far as gain reduction is concerned. The reason why is if you want to hear your drums smack on a public PA system, a car, or whatnot, you go past -3, you're going to hear the reduction of that, and it's going to sound like, you see what I'm saying? It's not going to have a, it's not going to be punchy. It's going to be, it's going to sound nasty like that. So you have to retain your dynamics as much as you possibly can. If you're pumping in -3, -6 or more, turn your incoming volume down. You see what I'm saying? Take all your tracks, highlight all of them, whatever, turn all your tracks down, and you're going to notice less signal is going to come into the processor. A lot of people don't know that. A lot of people use, their mind is, oh, I put a compressor on there, the compressor going to make my shit louder. That was the worst shit I ever heard, and stuff like that. Stuff like that. Now you can compress and then turn up the makeup gain. So everything that you do compress, you're just bringing up the volume, but it still sound like shit. You see what I'm saying? So the whole key of it is make sure that your gain reduction is not going past -3. Because once you do that, I guarantee. Let me give you a prime example. Check this out. All right, now that's the mixer at 92. Now watch when I kick in the limiter. Check this out. Hold on. Here it is. Now you hear like, oh yeah, nigga, dad, man, that shit loud. Yeah. It's loud, but you don't have no kick. You lost the kick. You ain't got no snare down there, and it sound like and stuff like that. It sound like somebody sneezing, and you know your highs are very, very brittle. So you're losing the dynamics there. You know what I'm saying? So you got to be careful with limiters and compressors and stuff like that. Right there. And then you can still, we got a lot of energy. You ain't even paid attention to your LUFS. That's your loudness units, full scale meters. Metering, which is what's measured when you put it on Spotify, Apple Music, Tidal, Amazon Music. They have this volume unit that they use called LUFS, loud units, full scale. You kind of want to hit around about -10. That's where all music, whether you sing gospel, country, zydeco, R&B, neo soul, goddamn, motherfucking folk, whatever the case may be, everybody's hitting around -10 to -12 in modern day music that's coming out right now. If you ain't in that mark and you keeping it at -14, that's the suggested LUFS and stuff like that, your shit gonna sound low when it gets out on Spotify, and it's not gonna be really clear. So when they turn it up on their end, it's gonna be meh and stuff like that. So you kind of want to have your final mix at about -10 LUFS or -12 and stuff like that. That's that sweet spot. So if you're working with a mixing engineer or a mastering engineer, you send your shit off to some of these automated companies that do it for you and stuff like that. There's a website. There's a website out there that can measure the LUFS for you for free online. And you want to make sure when you get your final audio file, check that, because a lot of people fall short or they got this shit too loud. There's a sweet spot. What I have discovered with some releases that I've done for people, the sweet spot is around -10 and -12. You go past -10, your shit gonna sound distorted and nasty over streaming quality, because there's a certain energy threshold when you're streaming at 128 kilobytes per second, 320, 256, even at 92. You know what I'm saying? There's statutes of limitations with that audio quality and everything like that. So with that being said, At its highest point in that hook, it peaked just right at negative 9.8. That's good. You know what I'm saying? But it's not momentarily. It's only short. So when you look at these lust meters and stuff like that, you will see something with an I, M, and an S. That's short-term metering, momentary metering, and integral metering. Short-term means it's going to measure everything at a certain frame, kind of like at a certain time frame, real quick. Momentarily, it's going to average. It's kind of like it's going to get the average, you know what I'm saying, throughout the duration of that audio. Integral is going to take the information from the momentarily and the short and put it in a sum and stuff like that. So it kind of gives you 3 stages of where you want to get at. If you can meet the median in all 3 stages, you're good to go. But for this right here, we at about -10, so we Gucci. So that's going to cut through the mix when we're streaming and stuff like that. So that's it, man. That's all we got today, for real. All right, so I'm gonna turn this shit down. I know y'all tired of listening to that or whatnot, man. But yeah, man, we're gonna go ahead and get up out of here. Yeah, we're at about an hour and a half, so that's pretty good. For this little quick mix on this beat or whatever the case may be. Just wanted to talk about mixing today and put some more mixing content on the channel and everything like that. Man, I want to do courses so bad, some mixing courses, but I feel like my platform, for us, my YouTube channel, is just not going to take off the way it needs to. And that's a lot of time and energy and a lot of video editing that I don't have. And I ain't got the goddamn money for pay somebody else to edit my videos. I'm just keeping it 100. Stuff like that. But I really do want to do a mixing course because a lot of the shit that you watch on YouTube is bullshit. There's a lot of people out here teaching mixing. You got some good people that actually teach some good stuff. And you got some people that's not keeping it real, per se, or whatnot. I teach it from a realistic standpoint and kind of explain it not by the book or not by what other people have taught it. I kind of meet everything in the middle. And a lot of people learn differently. If you not tech savvy, you also have to learn how to break it down for the non-tech savvy. So a lot of the analogies make you understand how to understand mixing. And a lot of people don't know this. It's like before I actually got into this world we in far as music is concerned and whatnot, I had to read books. And so basically before I went to audio school, and I'm gonna tell this story. I would go to Barnes and Nobles once a week and I buy a magazine. So that's when magazines was popping. You know, we ain't have the internet articles and shit like that or whatnot. YouTube wasn't even where it is right now. So we talking about like 2004, 5, 6, and 7 and stuff like that. And I'll go buy a book, a mixing book. I still have a mixing book somewhere around here or whatnot. And I read that stuff. But I didn't know what the fuck I was reading. You know what I'm saying? Because nobody didn't want to teach me. Everybody out hit up and they flagged me off the way and stuff like that. So it was like, shit, what I'm gonna do? There wasn't no YouTube out and I wasn't in audio school at the time. So I was just really learning shit on my own. So what I did was take what I read and apply it to shit that I knew that was around me. So for example, with the side chaining, as far as compression, the only way I could understand that is when I read about it and saw it in action in the illustrations in the book. It kind of made sense. And that's what helped me get to where I'm at right now. You know what I'm saying? So when you explain it in an analogy form, that kind of help people understand it or whatnot. But I really want to do courses bad, man. But you know what I'm saying? Just don't really have the time to do it or whatnot. And I don't feel right charging people for information that you can get right here for free, man. Until I can, you know what I'm saying, have the time to do it. You know what I'm saying? So everything that you probably heard in this video is free game, you know what I'm saying? But a lot of times too, people, it goes over your head and stuff like that. So you gotta be a person who want, you gotta want the information in order to get into stuff like that. And my audience is just really not big enough just yet to get there. So once we hit about 2,500 subscribers, I may think about it. But the acceleration getting there is very, very slow because we live in a fast-paced world. People's attention spans is not there and stuff like that. And I don't do this full time every day in order to get the subscribers and the views there. So my rate is like 1 or 2 videos per week. you know what I'm saying, if I'm lucky, or whatnot. So until I can get some leeway with time, you know what I'm saying, I got grown man problems and grown man bills, you feel me? So, but I do know this mixing stuff, man, like for real. And I hope anything in this video is to help you out to understand it. It was something that you heard that make it make sense when you get in the studio or whatnot. That's why I do my live streams, man. My live stream is not just a showboat type of situation. It's actually something that actually help people out, because you have a lot of people seeking knowledge. You got to be careful how you get your knowledge and stuff like that, man. You just got to have intuition. That's it, man. So I hope this video served you well, man. We're gonna go ahead and get up out of here today, whatnot. And yeah, man, so again, just to recap, you know what I'm saying, if you're looking for controllers, you know what I'm saying, make it make sense. Don't buy it because somebody says SSL. Don't buy it because somebody says a brand name. Buy it for workflow. You know what I'm saying? If this works for you and it makes your workflow better, by all means, utilize it. But the bad and the sad part is that you're going to have to invest in order to find out what works for you. Stuff like that. So, excuse me. I went through like, about 4 or 5 of these hoes. And I'll buy one, sell it, flip the money, get it. And if this doesn't work or whatnot, so far this works with my workflow really well. I would love to have an 8-channel one, but I mean, I move quickly with this one versus the 8-channel one and stuff like that. So that's what it is with the mixer controllers. Make it make sense for your workflow. Don't buy it for the brand name, because that is a marketing and a sales trap for you guys out there. So you got to be smart with your investments or whatnot, man. And the thing is mixing and stuff like that. The mixing approach, have fun, mix with a vibe. If you don't mix with a vibe and you're focusing too much on the technical aspect, you need to stop, reevaluate yourself, understand what you're doing first, understand the technical, then get back in there and have fun mixing. That has been a trick that was hard to understand throughout my journey of learning how to mix until it clicked one day. And that was when it's not in this particular room, but I was next door. I used to have a studio right next to this wall that on the right hand side. And that's when I understood mixing was with the vibe, because I was in a space where I didn't have to learn. I was in a space where I didn't have to worry about flipping a time frame. I just got in there, zoned in. I mixed with a vibe and didn't worry about if this fucking particular frequency was peaking or, you know what I'm saying, it had to be cut or boost or whatnot. It just made sense, and still retaining the information of staying in the technical boundaries and stuff like that. So again, mix with a vibe, stay creative, and you have been in with your boy Super Mario, man. I am losing my voice. Sinuses, allergies in Houston is fucking ridiculous. So I'm gonna go ahead and give me some water in my system. Until next time, I'll catch you guys out right now. Make sure you go ahead and check out my video, you know what I'm saying, on the RX 1200 12-bit sampler instrument. That motherfucker is bad. That's that old Cash Money sound. So I may do a whole beat tape on that one instrument, because ooh wee nigga. That's all I can say on that one right there, man. We got some videos coming up here pretty soon and stuff like that. I'm cranking up my content and everything like that. I just had some family things to take care of. I told y'all, grown man problems, grown man bills and stuff like that. So the kiddos was getting out of school, graduations here, there, and here, whatnot, man. But we're gonna still keep it rocking on this channel right here. And I just want to say thank you for anyone that's watching this. You get to this point right here, you're a real one. God gonna bless you and stuff like that. And you know what I'm saying, gonna bless you twofold, man. You know what I'm saying, you're a real one. I appreciate all your support and what you're doing here on this channel. 1 view equals love on this channel here, and it really shows support right here. I'm not a person to beg for any type of monetization is concerned. My whole purpose for you that's watching is for you to get the information. That's why God put me here on this earth, and for him to give me the gift of music teaching to help you understand and stuff like that, man. So if you hear this message, message, that was for you, man. So without further ado, man, I'm gonna get the heck on out of here because I can't say the other word because I just talked about God in the damn same sentence. So yeah, I'm just a hypocrite all over in there. But anyway, man, we just cracking jokes, man. Let me get up out of here, man. And until next time, you've been in the Yo with your boy, man. We up out of here, man. Peace. If I can find the